ROB Black here. 12:04 p.m. We are live here on the ROB Black Network, the ROB Black Radio World, the ROB Black streaming atmosphere, everything that is ROB Black. We are here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be with you. I am your host, the reincarnation of Johnny Carson. I know nobody out there knows who the fuck that is, because most of my listeners and viewers are too goddamn young. But anyways, welcome to the program, and we are again streaming. We're streaming and on every goddamn network that there is to actually listen to. I'm being serious. You can't get more things that were. I have to push so many goddamn buttons and so many. It's just retarded. From Blog Talk Radio. So right now we're on Blog Talk Radio from fucking noon to 2. Then we are on Google, or Google Plus and YouTube. So we have a YouTube Google Plus feed going, and that's that camera right there. Then we have our high-quality stream, which is on our website, therobBlackShow.com, and that's that camera right there. And it's also broadcasted on www.adultfyi.com. And then if you go to various social medias, my Facebook, we have a feed going on there. So basically, as Tom Byron told me the other day, we have all bases covered as far as listening and watching us. You just can't get any more fucking feeds going than you do here. It's literally, fucking cameras there. And next week, we'll be starting a Roku feed. I know. Will be available on Roku. That will be the last feed. See, all of these feeds have their different perspective link codes and streaming server mumbo jumbos. Google, or the YouTube thing. I had one of the listeners yesterday say that the YouTube feed is not as good as our live show feed from the Rob Black Network. And I said, well, yeah, of course, considering that the Rob Black Network feed is a stream. It's our own servers, and it's adjusted at the bandwidth that we need, and it's our own servers. We pay $200 a month for. We're allotted a certain 1,000 terabytes of bandwidth and storage, and I mean it's a not that they're more than YouTube, Google are billion-trillion-dollar companies, but they limit what can be done because they're not going to fucking pay all of this storage and bandwidth and so forth and so on as if they're shooting or broadcasting live sporting events. It's not going to happen. So everything is different. So our live feed that is on our streaming service, we have a separate servers and separate links and all that crap. And the YouTube, the Roku channel that's being developed, and we talked about it, a week and a half ago, that has its own streaming servers and its own host of bullshit. And when you want to stream on it, you have to get on their servers and use their linking codes with your encoders. But it's the codes that make the encoder work and push buttons and whatever it fucking does. So when that goes live next week, we'll have to use a whole nother goddamn video setup, a whole nother camera setup. It'd be a fucking nightmare. Because I won't be able to just use these codes because it's a whole nother server system. So that we'll have 3 cameras, and I'm trying to think where to fucking put that. I think we might just set that up to shoot it head on. So then the Roku feed will come at me here. Oh, no. For one of these, I'm telling you, we're going to get on a fucking network soon. And then all of this shit will be combined into one feed. So we're not on 4 different networks. Jesus Christ. It's a fucking nightmare. But hey, this is what we do to bring the Rob Black Show out to the masses. So everybody and their mother can watch it. Literally, everybody and their mother can watch the goddamn show. I sit here and I look online and I read the websites and I go around and I see what everybody's doing. Everybody and their mother's going to have a radio show. They either have a radio show or they're starting a radio show. I tell you, people think I'm the fucking I am the Howard Stern of fucking of the porn radio world of talk. Everybody copies me. Everybody copies me. Everybody wants to be a fucking a radio host, a TV talk show. Everybody thinks it's so goddamn easy. You gotta know, I sit here. You realize we do this show 6 hours a day. Yeah, I say 5, but it's really 6. Yeah, yesterday afternoon we went until 4. Last night we went to 10:30. I do this 6 hours a day. A lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of love, so to speak, goes into producing this show, making this show happen. From all of the servers to even the scheduling of my fucking life and what I gotta do and what I gotta work around, to the preparation of preparing bits and routines and all sorts of crap. Everybody thinks it's easy. And then they get on there and they do it, and I listen to these people and they fucking suck. They're horrible. Literally, they're horrible. From Vivid Radio people on down to the LA Talk people. Horrible. Just horrible, horrible people. And it's amusing, but yet sad in the same way. It's like when you're watching a TV show or you're watching somebody in school. You all know that feeling you get when you watch somebody do something embarrassing and you kind of cringe. You go, oh God, I feel so bad for that person. It's the same thing. I literally, sometimes I'll put on the Sirius and we'll listen to a little Vivid Radio, and it's horrible. At what point does anybody think that any adult star, let alone one of these girls, are going to be anything other than either boring or just plain stupid when they're talking and they're la la la, they're talking about their pussy and what the fuck? What am I listening to? What? It's horrible. Or has-been musicians. It's fucking retarded. It's just retarded. Literally retarded with a quirky capital fucking cork from Life Goes On. That's how fucking bad it is. But, hey, you know, it gives us entertainment. It gives us something to fucking talk about. But it is cringeworthy. Some of these people are literally fucking cringeworthy. They really are. It's literally like watching somebody shit their pants in a crowded fucking room. And you know the person. And you just go, oh my God, did they shit their pants? Oh, Jesus, they did. Oh, gosh. So, anyways, I was thinking about that while I was shitting this morning. And the shit was like this big. It was a tiny, minuscule, fucking crappy little shit. It's horrible. It was horrible. Anyways, it's Friday. We got a whole bunch of stuff to get to. I've been debating if we're gonna talk more about porn today, or more with more current events. Or I got a whole bunch of emails yesterday from people wanting to hear more porn, well, not necessarily porn stories, but just stories in general from my life growing up to early days at at the Elegant Angel building and the regime and things that we went through over there, which were incredibly entertaining. So I don't know. I'm debating. Because remember, we got tonight. We got tonight. Ha. Fucking. I'm laughing right now. You guys get me. Because already it starts, ladies and gentlemen that are new to the show. Let me tell you guys first, who are brand new to the program. You're just tuning in for the first time. We're very interactive here. My email is rzblack@yahoo.com. rzblack@yahoo.com, and we get constantly fan interaction, and we have a core group of fans that will regularly email us, but then we have another slash core group of listeners who have now elevated out of being a fan, but they are, I would say, they're like quasi half workers of the show. And what that means is they actually will do things for the show and help us work on parts of the show. And they send me emails throughout the program, literally throughout the program. And sometimes they're songs, sometimes they're parodies. They are a myriad of things. A lot of times we read off the emails, so we all interact. The hijinks get really humming at night, but right now they already started flowing. I've already started getting the parody songs. I have a big fascination with race in this country and how we handle the relationship and what we go through as far as calling people names, or what makes somebody a bigot, or what makes someone a racist, and what is comedy. So and that's actually a segment we're going to talk about, the ever popular, ever ignorant, and ever white trash hillbilly motherfucker named Ted Nugent. And we'll get to him later, but we will get going with race and music and get bombarded with racist songs, racist parodies. So I'm sitting here looking at my email, and it's already started with the pure comedy from my crew, and they're just out of their minds. They really are out of their minds with the stuff. Last night we were going through basically the history of rap. I know when I say the history of rap, the history of when did rap become, or I should say, leave the happy realm of Herbie Hancock and those types of bands to the gangster world. And we were talking about Ice-T and how he went from wearing alpine ski goggles in Beat Street to a year and a half later talking about, killing cops and shit like that. So when I get sidetracked sometimes, it's solely because I'm getting inundated with either comedy or I'm getting inundated with pure craziness. So it's definitely nuts. Patrick, if you're listening, I know you're listening. I love what you sent me. I love it. I want to fucking come on myself. But here's my thing. Can you make the boss's back bigger? Can you make the boss's back bigger? Because here's the thing, Pat. Normally, I would do a front and back t-shirt. But if I do a front and back t-shirt, it's going to cost more fucking money. And they'll charge me for the printing on the back, too. And the fucking shirts will get jacked up through the fucking moon. Or I would put the big logo on the front, and on the back, it would be big, the boss's back. But I can't do that. Can you make the boss's back bigger on the fucking front? That's what I'm hoping you can do without having a coronary and saying, ah, you cocksucker, now I got to redo everything. If you could do that, that would be awesome. And I'll give you a fucking hand job with a glove on. So, and Patrick, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a segue from my man Pat. First off, my man Patrick, who does artwork for us, and he's phenomenal. He did the skins for the our website, adultfyi.com. He's also done the design work. Let me show you the t-shirt here. He's also did this, the Rob Black Show t-shirt. You can get these on Amazon.com, the Rob Black t-shirt. So he's pretty awesome. And if you, here's the segue from Pat. If you go to my Instagram, the Rob Black Show Instagram, I've been posting some amusing little pictures and so forth and so on. But I've got some great political cartoons, so to speak, that Patrick sends me every couple days. And they're awesome. And go there and fucking send them out or re-Instagram them out or whatever the hell you got to do. They're politically charged. And if you're a diehard Democrat like I am, you'll get a kick out of them because they're just bashing the scumbag Republicans. So go to the Rob Black Show Instagram, and you guys will definitely get a kick out of that. And Patrick, the other thing, we got to make some political shirts. We got to make some political shirts where it's like the Republican logo, like getting flushed in the toilet, or I got some ideas. We gotta put together some political shirts, man. If Alex Jones can have about 90,000 shirts, and one of them has a picture of President Obama dressed as the fucking Joker, we got to get into that game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Rob Black Show. I'm glad you're here. And again, go to Instagram, take a look at what we're talking about. Again, this show is very interactive. We're constantly engaging the audience, the fans, the people to hit us up. A lot of times when I start talking all controversial about race and the plight of the black man, I'll get hit up with hate mail, which is always fun. People calling me names, being hateful, mean, and that we always get a big kick out of, because I read the emails on the air. I don't give a fuck. I could give two shits. We read them on the air. So it's quite entertaining. Anyways, this is the Rob Black Show, a t-shirt. Buy the goddamn thing, little motherfuckers. Wear it with pride. He's like, hey, I'm Rob Black Show fan. Hey, Hannah! So, get going with that. Man, what a fuck. It's beautiful out here in California. I know a lot of the rest of the states are getting bombarded with either ice or snow or rain or fucking dildos. I heard there's one state or one area of San Francisco that's been getting flooded with dildos. I think that's a little extreme, but nonetheless, they've been under fire with just dildos, just raining dicks, raining dicks. So we over here are not raining dicks. We're just raining beautiful weather. Man, it's beautiful out. Fucking beautiful. And we are trucking along. Has everybody got, if anybody has cable and has seen when I say cable, the talk shows, the political talk shows, I'm sure you've seen some of it on your local news, but you probably wouldn't get it as much as we or you would get it on a CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or something like that, and that is this Ted Nugent. And I'm sure most of you know who Ted Nugent is. He is, let me give you a little background on Ted Nugent. He's a old douchebag rock guy who had about, I think, one hit his entire life. It was called Cat Scratch Fever. Well, actually, and I think he had that song, Wango Tango. Yes. And for about, I think, 4 years, back in the, 70s, a very small group of ignorant motherfuckers would actually listen to this guy and buy his records. Incredibly ignorant, and he's incredibly stupid. His entire family is stupid, and he actually used to have a reality show. And it basically showed how he raised his stupid, ignorant kids along with his stupid, ignorant wife. And in turn, it was just a breeding ground of ignorant people. Well, what he recently did is made tweets. And he's always been very boisterous and critical of the Democrats. But if you look through Ted Nugent's history, which is very telling, and it is very telling of the Republican Party in general, never once has a Ted Nugent or the people of the Republican Party ever been as disrespectful and as downright venomous to the Democrats as they have with this president in office, President Obama. And Ted Nugent basically called President Obama a subhuman mongrel. So he called President Obama a nigger. I mean, that's basically was another code word for a nigger. And that has gotten, believe it or not, the attention of different Republicans who've actually identified that one of their own supporters who has raised money for the Republican Party, has gone to Republican Party functions, people in Texas, where Ted Nugent's home state is, embrace him as at fundraising events. These people have actually backed away from what Ted Nugent has said because basically a subhuman mongrel is as offensive as you possibly can. Yes, socialist and Hitler, those things aren't evil enough as calling our president. But nonetheless, when you call him a straight-up subhuman nigger, is I guess where you have Ted Cruz, who is an ultra right-wing Tea Party scumbag in Texas, has said that He disagrees with Ted Nugent. The current Texas Governor, Rick Perry, has said he had a problem with Ted Nugent's comments and said he should never have said that about the President of the United States. He said he's got a problem with calling the President a mongrel. It's an inappropriate thing to say. Rand Paul, the other, Jesus Christ, biggest piece of shit, right-wing teabagging douchebag, has even said, that Ted Nugent and what he said was horrific, and is distancing himself. It's crazy how it's crazy that Republicans and more importantly a real strong amount of people in politics that are in places where I don't even know how to say of respect from Congress. I mean, they even have a Republican candidate, Greg Abbott, and running for the governor of Texas, is hanging around with Ted Nugent. This guy, Greg, I mean, it's amazing that you would have some Republicans supporting Ted Nugent and the things that he said, and then you have other Republicans distancing themselves, but yet they're both part of the same party. And we're not talking about fringe players. You're talking about a guy, Greg Abbott, who's actually running for governor. It's not a ultra right-wing Alan Keyes type nut job. This is somebody who's running for a governor. Ultimately, is going to have the backing of the Republican National Committee behind him, and so forth and so on. And it's truly amazing how we treat this president when you cannot come up with more than, I would say, half a thing that legitimately he did bad. The only thing you can hear of people saying is Benghazi. Benghazi and Obamacare. That's it. And yet when you ask them to actually comment further on it, okay? When you ask him to further comment on it, okay? When you ask him to further comment on it, there's actually no way that he can, or anybody can, really explain how else he can, how he did bad for this country. I'm sorry, you guys. I was kidding. Sidetracked because one of our people emailing me saying, for my information, Ted Nugent is the Motor City Madman, and from Detroit and so forth and so on. And not for nothing, but Ted Nugent does not consider Detroit right now his home state. He resides in Texas. He's a resident of fucking Texas, and that is where he's lived now basically almost all of his fucking life. And that's why he votes in Texas. That's why he campaigns in Texas. And that's why I reference the fact that right now he's from Texas. So the fucking fact of him being from Detroit is really inconsequential, considering that all of his politics and everything he's about is in Texas right now. So I just thought I'd throw that out there to the listeners who like to hit me up with that. Because, again, if you read all the reports about Ted Nugent and his shows and everything about what he's doing, it's all referencing Texas and the fact that he votes in Texas and he's called Texas his adopted home state and so forth and so on. So, once again, Ted Nugent is a Texas inbred loser because not many people are running around shooting fucking elk and water buffalo in the fucking General Motors in fucking Detroit. So, so forth and so on as we continue. So what I was saying was this notion and fact of Obama being this horrible, evil person, and the concept that he has done something that is so horrible and so unbelievably horrific. I sure would like for anybody to actually tell me and give me a examples of where he has basically ruined this country. I'm kind of looking for that. Again, I'm trying to see where this is happening, where this world is coming from. I'm going to again tell you what Nugent has said, and these are some of his popular oh man, I give you some of his more popular Ted Nugent quotes. Pimps and whores and welfare brats and their soulless supporters have a president to destroy America. What subhuman varmint believes others must pay for their obesity, booze, cell phones, birth control, abortions, and lives? Good luck, America. You just voted for economic and spiritual suicide. Soulless fools. On February 12th, Nugent attended the State of the Union address given by President Obama. He was a guest of the U.S. Representative Steve Stockman of Texas, 36th Congressional District. A year later, Stockman challenged U.S. Senator John Cronin in the Texas Republican primary. Okay? You guys rolling with me? February 2014, Nugent endorsed Craig Abbott, the Attorney General of Texas, who was running for governor in the March 4th Republican primary. Okay? So, as you see, Ted Nugent is a complete scumbag, and more importantly, is now a Texas fucking home motherfucking loser douchebag. Okay? And again, if somebody can please tell me what this president has done that has destroyed America, I would be here with my ears open so I could listen. And nobody could ever come up with these rational reasons. Now, if you talk about Republicans and you talk about the Bushes and you talk about Reagans, it's very easy to actually sit here and talk about what a Republican, more importantly, Bushes, have done to help destroy this country. So I would love to have somebody tell me what that the President of the United States has said, has done. I'd love to know. I mean, again, this is Texas. Talking about Texas. People who live in Texas are the most backwoods, horrific people. Do you guys remember? One of my listeners just sent me, and I totally forgot. Do you guys remember that the governor, Rick Perry of Texas, had a hunting camp that his family leased called Niggerhead? Do you guys remember that? They leased a piece of land that was fucking referred to as Niggerhead. And they actually had a rock that was painted Niggerhead. And the rock, they painted over it, so you know, of course, couldn't see the word Niggerhead. But guess what? You could still see it through the paint. Like, forget about removing it. Forget about taking it and throwing it away. No, we're just going to paint over it. So you still walk by and go, does that say Niggerhead? Yes. Yes, the governor of fucking Texas had a camping ground called Niggerhead. And again, this is what Texas is. It's pretty obvious when you're dealing with these people, and you're dealing with people that had Ted Nugent running around as their new poster child, what you get. And again, I still wait for when somebody can explain and tell me the horrible evilness that this president has done. And nobody can. And when you talk about executive orders, and you talk about the things that transpire with this country, and what is going on, there's not a fucking thing. And when you're looking at the things that people say, it's amazing. Now, let me explain something to you. When somebody talks about executive orders, now I don't know if anybody of you know what that is. They are basically actions that the president can take that override things that go through Congress. So the federal minimum wage that President Obama has enacted, that you hear that the Republicans and people talk about is a horrible, evil, and unbelievable thing that shouldn't be done, and it's Hitler-esque. And let me explain to you guys, and again, you'll never hear this, but presidential executive orders. Ronald Reagan, 381. George H.W. Bush, 166. Bill Clinton, 364. George W. Bush, 291. Barack Obama, 168. So, under presidential executive orders, how is it that President Obama is Hitler-esque by overriding Congress with the lowest amount of executive orders under the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 presidents? How does that work? But he's Hitler-esque. I got you. I got you, Republicans. I got you. I forgot. My bad. Again, these are the things that Republicans and their bullshit talking points are literally just amazing. Here's another one. Do you realize 8 years ago, Bush was able to turn a $230 billion yearly surplus into a $1.6 trillion deficit? Again, these are facts, okay? Facts. Here's another fact. This is a county in Kentucky. Owsley, Kentucky, O-W-S-L-E-Y, is 99.2% white and 95% Republican, but yet it has the highest usage of SNAP benefits in the United States. Ain't that something? Again, these are all facts. These are all facts. How about this one? This one's a good one for all you redneck motherfuckers. You ready? Homosexuality is a sin. Leviticus 18.22 or 18.22. Eating crawfish is a sin. Leviticus 11.10. So, explain to me, all you Texas and Louisiana, and more importantly, you Duck Dynasty individuals. How is it that if sucking another man's dick is a sin by the Bible, so is eating crawfish, but you all stuff your motherfucking faces with that? I got ya. Got no comments for that, do you? Again, you people that are, Jesus Christ. Oh, it's amazing. And once again, you will never, ever, ever come up with anything more than Benghazi and Obamacare website not working properly after it was held up in court battles for over 4 years, 5 years. And now I'm going to give you guys one of the better quotes for politics right now. You ready for this one? Tell me what president do you think said this? I do not believe in taking away the right of the citizen for sporting, for hunting, and so forth, or for home defense. But I do believe that an AK-47, a machine gun, is not a sporting weapon or needed for a defense of a home. Does anybody want to guess what president said that? Well, he was the president on February 6, 1989, and his name was Ronald Reagan. Yeah, you know, the Republicans' fucking wet dream of a president. Let me quote you again. That president, who subsequently got shot by a scumbag named John Hinckley, and his press secretary became a fucking retard. And let me repeat what Ronald Reagan, the Republican wet dream, said. I quote in a speech, "I do not believe in taking away the right of the citizen for sporting, for hunting, and so forth, or for home defense, but I do believe that an AK-47, a machine gun, is not a sporting weapon or needed for a defense of a home." Ronald Reagan, February 6, 1989. So, is he Hitler? Because the minute a Democrat or our president talks about gun control, all you Republican wackos, you Southern hillbilly motherfuckers, start talking about he's Hitler, he's fucking going to take away the weapons. The next thing you know, all the fucking blacks are going to fucking storm your house and take your grape soda. Explain to me how the Republican wet dream as a president is able to exactly tell you what everybody who has a rational fucking thought in their head says, which is, you want to have a firearm for protecting your family? Go for it. You want to have a firearm to go out and hunt with? Go for it. But machine guns, assault rifles, any guns that can hold 30, 40, 50 rounds are absolutely no place in trying to hunt a duck, or trying to hunt a deer, or trying to hunt a bear. Doesn't happen. These are weapons that are specifically made to kill. Plain and simple. And when your own wet dream of a fucking president, Ronald Reagan, actually understands that, and more importantly, understands it from being shot, ladies and gentlemen, you need to re-examine your political party. You need to re-examine who you represent, and you need to re-examine. You need to fucking re-examine the things that people say, like Ted Nugent, and how you align yourself with a piece of shit like that. Ted Nugent is dog shit. And to sit there and call the President of the United States basically a nigger is disgusting and deplorable. And that's basically what he did. And again, when you read the quotes from Ted Nugent that he has said before, it goes to show you the concept behind some of these things he says. And you know what those things are? Abortion. So if you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, Ted Nugent is against women. Because there's no getting around it. And it doesn't matter how you feel about abortion. And I know it's a very, very touchy situation or a subject. But at the end of the day, and this is what I always laugh about the girls in our business and the guys in our business and the leaders of the adult business, when they talk about the condom issues and they want to say it's about the government telling us what we can do and not do with our bodies. They're so fucking ignorant that they try to play that game after free speech doesn't work. At the end of the day, I tell these fucking assholes, listen, we have a war on women with their reproductive organs and abortion rights. That, my friends, is telling somebody what they can and cannot do with their body. Telling somebody to practice safety standards at work with condoms or wearing rubber gloves to pick up cum rags on the floor is not fucking a violation of somebody's fucking body and telling them what they can and cannot do. What that violation is people like Ted Nugent, hillbilly, ignorant motherfuckers that are basically trying to stop women from making a decision what they can do with their reproductive organs. Now that is basically a fundamental right of every woman in this country. Now, you don't have to be for abortion, and you don't have to be against abortion to recognize that that issue is up to a woman. And it's been said on comedy shows, it's been said on talk shows, it's been said on tons and tons of American literature, you name it, that if a man could have a baby, you would never have the abortion issue whatsoever, which is a fact. And more evident of that is the inclusion of Viagra and erectile dysfunction pills that get covered on insurance plans. But yet, we are having fundamental debates if abortion should be covered in insurance plans. For Christ's sakes, they have it where churches can deny a secretary who just happens to be answering phones for a church that has health insurance to not cover that girl for contraception and or an abortion under the grounds of religion. No guy would ever tolerate the government saying you can't take that pill because of religion. The guy would get the fuck out of here. I'll break your fucking head open. You are nuts. But women get treated in such a horrific way. And take a look at a man like Ted Nugent. And that gives you a little insight of not just what Texas is about, but what the entire Republican Party is about. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, my girlfriend, Katie Starmers, and I love her, but her entire family is from Texas. The only ones that are really not born and raised in Texas is her grandparents, who her grandmother was born in New Jersey. So she's a New Jersey and an East Coaster. But my girlfriend, basically, her father, born and raised in Texas, fucking Ted Nugent with short hair, has a friend who broke his hand a year ago. And it hasn't healed right after 2 surgeries. And he needs another opinion and another referral for a doctor. So he sent pictures over to Katie's phone so Katie could forward them to the grandmother. I'm not real sure why their direct communication from the father's friend's phone to the grandmother's phone wouldn't work. I'm not real sure if the tin can with the string attached to it, and they hear and they go, hello, are you there? And then they put it back up to their ear. I guess that doesn't communicate pictures properly. So it has to be a 3 to 4 way communication between the Ted Nugent followers to the rich grandmother. So the pictures of this guy's hand, I can't explain to you, except if you ever saw the movie American Werewolf in London, where the guy is turning into a werewolf for the first time. And it shows him going through the transformation. And it has the one shot of his hand, and his hand starts to grow and bust out of the bones and get deformed. Swear to God, that is what this guy's hand looks like. And Katie shows me the picture and goes, oh my God, look at his hand. And I looked at it, and I was horrified by it. And I said, Katie, are you fucking, when did this happen? She's like, I don't know. And I go, how do you not, you got to ask these things. So she's talking to her dad. She's like, when did that happen, Dad? And the father says, a year ago. And he went to a doctor, and they set it and fixed it, and it didn't come out right. So he went to another doctor, and that didn't set and fix it right. So now he's asking Nana if she could refer him to one of, her, rich specialists. And I said, 2 doctors over a fucking year, and the guy's hand is literally sideways with bones sticking out. I go, A, what fucking 2 doctors did he go to? And what point after the first medical procedure did he not go, wow, this is really fucked up. I think I should possibly go to like a specialist. And after a fucking year, I broke my hand on my brother's head when I was 16, got put in a cast, and literally, guess what? A month after that, it was healed. Subsequently, I don't know, 16 years later, or I should say 7 years ago, I broke the same hand again, punching a wall. I got my hand put in a cast. After it got fixed and healed, a month later, I looked at my hand and I said, cool. At what point after a month, when your hand looks like somebody put it in a fucking meat grinder, do you not go, I have a problem? I better get this a fucking year. That, my friends, are people from Texas. That, my friends, are people that sit around and call the president a nigger. That, my friends, are people that say his president's done nothing for good for the country. And you go, are you serious? You realize that unemployment is at an all-time low? You realize unemployment is at 6.6%, 6.5%? Do you realize? Yeah, but there's people that just aren't looking for jobs. Okay, let's just say there's a population of the people who can't find a job who go, I'm just not going to look anymore. And they're not counted in the Census Bureau of looking. Do you realize that that only accounts for about 0.3? So take the unemployment then back up to 6.9. You're still at 6.9. The president took office and we were at like fucking 8.5%. George Bush left this president. Do you realize that George Bush left this president a toilet full of shit that was backed up with toilet paper, fucking tampons, kid cans, and this fucking president for the last almost 6 years sat there with a fucking plunger, and he's just sat there. Literally, fucking leave it to the white man to give the black man a nasty janitorial job, all right? And leave it to the black man when they get done to walk in as the white man and go, wow, nigger, you did a real good job cleaning this toilet up. Thanks there, buddy. Now I'm going to sit my fat ass back down and spray it with my Republican diarrhea. I mean, you can't get any more racial than the white Republican douchebag filling the toilet up with shit and then leaving it to the black man to come and fucking clean it out. And as the black man is on his fucking 6th year of cleaning, and every fucking somebody comes in while the fucking black guy goes to have a fucking smoke break with his menthol, and they leave another turd in the toilet on top of the other turds. And they leave, and fucking Obama comes back and goes, what the fuck just happened? Who shit on the shit? And there's the guy, I did, sorry, spook. Oh, thanks, asshole. And there he goes, plunging the shit again. That's Republicans for you. That is fucking Texas Republican douchebags like fucking Ted Nugent and the people that support Ted Nugent. That is exactly what destroyed, or I should say almost destroyed this country. Do you realize that? That is what almost destroyed this country before the black man came in. Can you imagine if we had John McCain and Sarah Palin as our president and vice president? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine where this country would be right now? I couldn't even fathom where this country would be if we had them as a fucking president. I couldn't fathom it. Do you understand that? It's frightening. It's frightening. And you guys do realize, I totally forgot about that, Patrick. Thank you. You do realize that Ted Nugent is a draft dodger. You guys understand that? You guys understand that Ted Nugent is a draft dodger. I completely forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. The motherfucker was a draft dodger. I totally fucking forgot about that. But you know what? I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Totally fucking forgot about that. I forgot about that, man. Listen to this, you guys. With the Vietnam War raging, young Ted Nugent was not so anxious to bear arms in defense of his country. The 64-year-old musician, now a vocal gun advocate and member of the National Rifle Association Board of Directors, avoided toting around an M14 thanks to a series of military deferments that allowed him to dodge the draft. Theodore Anthony Nugent first received a high school 1S deferment in February of '67 when he was 18. After briefly being reclassified as available for service, Nugent got a 2S college deferment when he enrolled in Oakland Community College in Michigan. In August of '69, Nugent took his draft physical and was rejected for service. He was classified as 1Y, indicating that he was qualified for service only in time of a national emergency. The 1Y classification was usually issued to candidates saddled with significant medical or mental issues. In interviews, Nugent has provided varying accounts of how he avoided a seat on a troop transport to Southeast Asia. In a 1977 High Times interview, He claimed to have stopped bathing a month before his draft physical, adding that he showed up for the exam with pants crusted with urine and feces. I was a walking, talking hunk of human poop, Nugent recalled. But while Nugent would subsequently disavow his defaction claim, he did cop to snorting a line of crystal meth before the physical because I wanted to see the look on the sergeant's face. 5 weeks after the exam, Nugent received his one-wide deferment on October 7th in 1969. Nugent's one-wide deferment remained in effect until 1972, when the classification was abolished. He was then reclassified as 4F, which covered restraints not qualified for military service. In his High Times interview, Nugent recalled his glee at evading the chance to defend his country, though he mixed up the Y1 and Y4 deferments, and in the mail I got this big juicy 4F, he said. They called dead people before they called my ass. Nugent is expected to attend the evening State of the Union address as a guest of Steve Hocko. So, there you go, guys. There is your big, big tough guy. There's your big fucking tough guy. Ted Nugent, the draft dodger. Mr. I'm going to run around with my AK-47s, and I'm going to shoot up people. He's a fucking draft dodging cunt. That's what Ted Nugent is, okay? Goes to enlist and not showers and has shit in his pants so he can fucking be referenced as a cuckoo bird so he doesn't have to go into the fucking military. He's such a big tough guy, he would have went in there and shot all the gooks. Well, why not? Why? Why didn't Ted go in the army? Because Ted Nugent is a bitch. He's always been a bitch. And just like most Republicans are bitches, they're loudmouth punks who fucking walk around, talk with a big fucking chest out and a voice, but when you back them in the corner and slap them, they're fucking little bitches. Little fucking bitches. Look at anybody that's got to wear a fucking gun on their hip. Okay, and they gotta walk around in a fucking state where they want the right to walk around with a gun on their hip. You know what that's for? So they can stick their chest out and not get bitch slapped by someone because they go, well, fuck, I got a gun. So they go like this, what's up, boy? And they stick their hip out like, make sure you see my gun. So if you get me pissed off, I'll shoot you. There you go, Ted Nugent, big fucking punk. I totally thank you, Patrick. Totally forgot Ted Nugent was a fucking draft-dodging bitch. Totally forgot about that. Fucking Ted Nugent. Fucking little bitch. Fucking biggest fucking bitch in the world. Fucking little bitch. Yeah. I got my physical notice 30 days prior. Well, on that day, I ceased cleansing my body, no more brushing my teeth, no more washing my hair, no more baths, no soap, no water. 30 days into breast build. I stopped shaving. I was 18, little scraggly beard. Then 2 weeks before I stopped eating any food, nutritional value, I just had chips, Pepsi, beer stuff. I never touched buttered. Poop, little jars of polished sausage, and I drink the syrup. I was the sight of death. Then a week before I stopped going to the bathroom, I did it in my pants, poop, pissed, the whole shot. My pants got crusted up. See, I approached the whole thing like Ted Nugent, cool, hard-working dude who's going to wreak havoc on these imbeciles in the armed forces. I'm going to play their own game. I'm going to destroy them. Now my whole body is crusted and shit and pissed. I was ill, and there were 4 days before I started staying awake. I was close to death, but I was in control. I was extremely anti-drug, as I've always been, but I snorted some crystal meth to drink. Talk about one wounded motherfucker. A guy put up 4 lines, it was all for us. But I didn't know, and I'm vacuuming that poop right up, and I was walking, talking, hunk of human shit. I was 6'3" of sin. So the guys took me down to the physical, and my nerves, my emotions were distraught. I was not a good person. I was wounded, but as painful and nauseous as it was, because I was really into the beam cleaning on the ball, I made my gutter swine hippies look like football players. I was a Davino. So I went in, and those guys in uniform couldn't believe the smell. They ridiculed me and pushed me around, and I was crying. But all the time I was laughing to myself. When they stuck the needle in my arm for the blood test, I passed out. When I came to, they were kicking me into the wall. Then they made everybody take off their pants, and I did. And the sergeant says, "Oh my God, put those back on, you fucking swine, you." Then you had a urine test, and I couldn't piss, but my poop was just like ooze, man. So I pooped in the cup and put it on the counter. I had poop in my hand and my arm. The guy almost puked. I was so proud. I knew I had these chumps beat. The last thing I remember was walking up in the ear test booth, and they were sweeping up, so I went home and cleaned up. They took a putty knife to me. I got the street rats out of my hair, ate some good steaks, beans, potatoes, cottage cheese, milk a couple of days, and I was ready to kick ass. And in the mail, I got this big, juicy 4F. They called dead people before they called my ass. But you know the funny thing about it? I'd make an incredible army man. I'd be a colonel before you knew what hit you. I'd have the baddest bunch of motherfucking killers you'd ever see in the platoon, but I just wasn't into it. I was too busy doing my own thing, you know? Yeah. Is that just your typical Republican, tough guy, pansy faggot? Look, I'm so scared of the war, I got 8 billion deferments. I shit my pants, but hey, man, if I really wanted to, I would have been the best military leader ever. I just wasn't into it. Are you fucking kidding me? That's your big, tough Republican. There you go. I just wasn't into it. I was too busy doing my own thing, you know? But if I wanted to, I would have been the badass colonel. Ted Nugent, you're a bitch. You're a fucking pussy bitch. Fucking punk-ass motherfucker. I mean, Ted Nugent's a bitch. So, did you ever see his family? His family's a bunch of bitches. Fuck, I'd be so ashamed if that was my fucking father. I'd be ashamed. Fucking Ted Nugent's a fucking bitch, man. Just a fucking bitch. Just a motherfucking bitch. Motherfucking bitches. Shit. Patrick sent me a fucking whole list of fucking little fucking chicken hawks. Spencer Abraham, Elliot Abrams, John Ashcroft, Roy Blunt, Michael Bloomberg, George W. Bush. Remember, he went missing when he was in the Texas Air National Guard. Skipped duty, didn't take the physical, suspended from flying. Jeb Bush did not serve. Saxby Chambliss, and he attacked Max Cleland's patriotism. Dick Cheney did not serve. Christopher Cox did not serve. Tom DeLay did not serve. John Engler did not serve. Douglas Feet did not serve. Bill Frist did not serve. Newt Gingrich did not serve. Rudy Giuliani did not serve. Lindsey Graham did not serve. Well, Lindsey Graham couldn't serve because he's gay. Phil Graham did not serve. Dennis Hastert did not serve. Tim Hutchinson did not serve. Jack Kemp did not serve. Knee problem. Continued in NFL for 8 years, even though he had a knee problem. John Kyle did not serve. Trent Lott did not serve. Mitch McConnell did not serve. John McHugh did not serve. George Pataki did not serve. Richard Pearl did not serve. Dan Quayle, a journalist, unit of the Indiana National Guard. Dana Robenbacher did not serve. Karl Rove did not serve. Rick Santorum did not serve. Arnold Schwarzenegger, AOL, from the Austrian Army base. Richard Shelby did not serve. J.C. Watts did not serve. Vin Weber did not serve. Paul Wolfowitz did not serve. Andy Card, no service. Condi Rice, no service. John Bolton, no service. Don Nichols, no service. David Dreyer, no service. There you go. There's your list of Republican chicken hawks. Now, what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is Because I'm sure I'll get Republicans that go, well, Bill Clinton got it deferred. We're not talking about people that are against war, assholes. We're talking about your staunch Republicans that are pro-war, pro-gun, pro-kill everybody. But when it came to serving their country, they were the first ones to run like bitches. That's what it means, assholes. If you're against war and you're marching around saying peace and love, brother, and you don't want to serve, that goes with your tradition. But if you're somebody that is pro-kill everybody, but the minute you get a chance to go and kill everybody, you run and hide like a bitch, that is what we're talking about. Ted Nugent is pro-gun. He's pro-take this gun from my cold, dead hand. And guess what? When it came time to take a gun and go kill gooks, he sat there and faked being mentally nuts. He faked everything that he could to get out of serving in the military. That is a bitch. If you are pro-gun and you're pro-kill people and you're pro-being a big macho tough guy, then you go into the military and you kill people. That's what you do. You don't sit there and be an armchair military fucking killer. All right? You don't sit there and play fucking Call of Duty and go, man, if I was, I'd totally be an awesome military dude. So fucking, that's what fucking Ted Nugent says. Think about that, man. I would have made an incredible army man. I'd have been the colonel before you knew what hit you, man. I would have had the baddest bunch of motherfucking killers you'd ever seen in my platoon, man. But I just wasn't into it. I was too busy doing my own thing, man. You know. Yeah, okay. Ted Nugent, you're a bitch. You're fucking a cunt bitch. Just like your fucking kids are cunt bitches. You're fucking, yeah, you're a bitch. You are a bitch. If you weren't armed, you fucking pussy, you would get bitch slapped every day of the week. Ted Nugent, you fucking faggot. That's what you are. You're a fucking long-haired bitch. I'd fucking grab you by your hair and fuck you in your bitch ass. Alright? I would fuck you in your bitch ass, Ted Nugent, and make you scream Rob Black's name hours and hours on end. Fucking your typical fucking gun-toting Republican pussy. You love to see a Republican put their guns down. Did you ever see them nuts in Texas, these Tea Partiers, and they walk around with the fucking AK-47s on their arms, protesting, we hate Obama. Yeah, come here, put your gun down. Put your gun down, I'll fucking slap you, you pussy. But you never see them do that. You never see the country music guy, Toby Keith, all these fucking bitches. They're all strapped with guns. If they had to fight somebody with their bare fists, they wouldn't know how. Because they're pussies. They're pussies. Listen, anybody who preaches and runs around crying and worshiping guns like that are pussies. Okay? If you have a gun, you know what? You quietly have your gun. You have it quietly strapped to your fucking ankle, or you have it quietly strapped under your fucking desk, or you have it in your dresser drawer where you and your wife sleep, and you hear somebody breaking into your house, you grab your gun, and you do what you gotta do. Somebody threatens you, breaks into your business, you do what you gotta do. Only pussy bitches walk around with a sidearm like they're in the fucking wild, wild west. And start talking about nigger this, nigger that, welfare bucks, fucking socialism, communism, and start talking with a big old racist mouth while they're fucking strapped with a fucking gun. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Fucking pussies. Ted Nugent is the biggest pussy in the world. You take the guy's gun from him, and fucking say, all right, now, big mouth, open it up. You know what? He'd run. He'd run. He's a bitch. He's a bitch, Ted Nugent. The biggest bitch in the world. Can't get any more of a bitch than Ted Nugent. Remember that. And all you gun nuts, you'll get my gun when you pry it from my cold, dead hand. Listen, pussy boy, take your gun and leave it at home, and I will whoop your ass any day of the week. Any day of the week. Teabag party, I would whoop all of your asses. Anybody toting around a fucking AK-47 on their back, walking around, I'm a Republican. All you Democrats are socialists. Yeah. Put the gun down, all right? Come unarmed and walk over. I'd fucking slap you. I'd slap the Republican spit right out of your fucking mouth. You fucking faggots. My gay friends would fucking call you a faggot. All right? My gay friends, my gay friends would whoop your ass. They're more manly than a fucking Republican gun nut. I got gay friends that would beat the shit out of Ted Nugent and wouldn't even fuck him because his asshole is too fucking putrid and disgusting. Fucking Republican douchebags. Unbelievable, man. Fucking Ted. I totally forgot he was a draft dodging punk. Totally forgot. Fucking totally forgot about this loser. These are your Republicans, babe. These are the people that represent the Republican Party. These are the people that walk with tough guyness. This is exactly what represents a Republican Party. It's exactly what represents everything about the Republican organizations. And at the end of the day, if you want to know how to be a good bitch, go enlist and be in the Republican Party. Go listen to Ted Nugent and keep fucking disparaging our president, you fucking morons. Anyways, it's a Rob Black show. I told you, you motherfuckers, we're doing all sorts of things today, you fucks. We're doing all sorts of, I tell you whenever I see these scumbag Republicans and they start fucking mouthing off, it just sets me off, man. It really does. It just totally sets me off. So like I said, especially when they can't come up with anything shitty that the president has done. And again, when you say Benghazi, fuck, Benghazi, so, okay, and what? Oh, and the website, the Obamacare website, didn't work. Really? Okay. Okay, what else? Well, that's enough. Really? That's enough? So a fucking computer fucking website that didn't get the approval, really, that went all the way to the Supreme Court because there was glitches in that. Well, they had 5 years. Well, no, they didn't. Nobody knew if the fucking bill was ever going to get passed. They still are trying to overturn it, you idiots. So the concept that they've had computer fucking people working on it for the last 5 years is pretty fucking bunk. What next one? Benghazi. What Benghazi? What? What? That they had people say, hey, these fucking nutty Middle Easterners could possibly attack the consulate. We should get more fucking security. Yeah, man. And it's because of not having enough security there. Yeah. Really? So that's the president's fault? Yeah, it's his fault. Well, how is it his fault? Well, because he should have what? He should have ordered what? What should he have done? We're susceptible to fucking getting killed and getting blown up at every consulate that we are at in every Middle Eastern piece of shit fucking country there is. Well, they lied. How did they lie? Well, Hillary Clinton lied. How did she lie? Well, what did she say? What specifically? Well, first they said it was a video. Okay, but there is truth to the fact that there were video. Well, but then oh God. So basically, you're just running around in circles. Okay. What about the IRS? What about the IRS? The president did not order people to investigate Republican. Yeah, but what? What? They also investigated Democratic groups. They investigated all sorts of people trying to get tax exempt status for political PACs. They fucking sat there and went, what are you guys doing? Marijuana growers of America? You're trying to get tax exemption? We're going to investigate you. What? What are you, the bunch of fucking militant black guys trying to reform the Black Panthers and you're trying to fucking get tax? Hey, we're going to investigate you. Oh, you're a bunch of Republican nut job work. What? They did it to everybody. But again, none of these things affect. That's the issue. If you want to attack the Iraq War, okay? The Iraq War, raising taxes on the middle class, cutting taxes on the rich, cutting unemployment benefit. I can give you lists of things Republicans have done that affect every single American in the motherfucking United States. Republicans and their attack on this president are invoking things that don't affect Americans. Benghazi don't affect one fucking American except for the 2 or 3 that were killed in Benghazi. It affects their family. We feel bad for them, but that's all it affects. Okay? My girlfriend has no idea what Benghazi was, had no idea what happened there, so in turn, nothing affected her. But guess what? When she goes back to the East Coast to visit a friend or a family member, and she gets stuck at the fucking airport for 7 fucking days because of fucking snow and weather conditions caused by fucking climate control and climate shifts that the Republicans deny, that affects the American people. That affects her. That affects everybody. Do you understand that? These are things that affect everyday people. When you sit there and talk about the IRS investigating these groups that are trying to get tax exempt, again, that does not affect your grandparents that are sitting there in their house looking at their prescription drug prices. It doesn't affect these people. Doesn't affect these people. Doesn't affect these people. And when you talk about Obamacare, the only thing that affects is close to the 4 million people that are now insured who never had coverage. Now, if you want to sit there and add the people that either had their rates go higher or they had to get new plans, that doesn't even get anywhere near the surface of the 4 million people that it helped. No different than the controversy or the political wrangling that's happening with raising the minimum wage. And with the congressional office report of basically saying it could eliminate 500,000 jobs, but you could put almost 18 million people out of poverty. The amount of people that would benefit from a from a minimum wage hike against possibly losing 500,000 jobs, ladies and gentlemen, you got to take the good with the bad. And you have to look at the concept of, does the good outweigh the bad? Well, of course. If you're going to raise millions and millions of people out of poverty, if you're going to save millions and millions of people's jobs, if you're going to add more positive than negative, well, then you go with the positive. That's life. That's fucking life. Life is not about having an ultimate path to prosperity that doesn't have road bumps. Okay? Everything we do in life has road bumps. Everything we do in life has things that get rocky. That's what life is. If life was all about fucking roses and butterflies, then guess what? Sign me up and everybody in America would be dancing the fucking jig. But that's not the way it is. It's not the way it is. We get presented with things that go, this is a path that you can take. And ultimately, it's going to benefit this. And you will be benefited. But there's going to be a painful process. Well, do you take that process to ultimately benefit and go through a little pain along the way? Or do you say, well, no, we're not going to do that because the only process and path we want to go is that of gold and that of no pain? What do they say? No pain, no gain. When we sit there and lose weight and we work out, when you're working out, are you happy? When you're working out with weights, are you like, do, 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 I love butterflies, ooh. No, you work out and you're, and the next day your fucking body feels like it's just been beaten with a baseball bat. And after you do that for a couple months, what happens? You go from weighing 300 pounds to 200 pounds. You go from having arms of flabby fucking shit to fucking sculpted, chiseled muscle. And when someone looks at you and goes, wow, you look great, what do you say? Hey, man, it took a lot of hard work to get here. It took a lot of sacrifice to get here. But I'm here, and I'm a better person for it. Well, when you're talking about raising minimum wage, and you go, oh, well, 500,000 people could lose their job. But then you go, yeah, but what about all the people that are going to benefit? Well, yeah, but if people are going to benefit and against people that lose their jobs, that doesn't work. Well, okay, so you do nothing? So basically the 500,000 people that could possibly lose their jobs is more important than the millions and millions of people that could benefit? How does that work? Seriously, how does that work in our, how does that work? Again, it has no, it's truly perplexing. It's truly perplexing. It's truly perplexing when somebody goes through this concept that if you raise minimum wage, you're going to possibly lose 500,000 jobs. And then you say, yeah, but you're going to benefit millions and millions of people, taking them out of poverty. Oh, yeah, okay, well, doesn't the pros outweigh? No. So in turn, the 500,000 people, which is the minority of the study, you have to favor the 500,000 of the minority than the millions of the majority. How does that work? I thought we're in a country that is based on democracy. I thought we live in a country that is based on majority rules. I thought that's how we're based on this thing we call the United States of America, which basically says, hey, the majority and the people that are in the majority are the ones that rule. So if you have 500,000 people that could possibly lose their jobs because the minimum wage gets raised, and you have 5 to 10 million people that are going to benefit from minimum wage being raised, wouldn't logic prevail and say, hey, sorry guys, but we're going to have to take the chance with you 500,000 to benefit the better of 5 to 10 million. We don't rationalize and say, no, we're not going to help the 5 to 10 million because of 500,000 people. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And right now, the Republicans are trying their hardest to block minimum wage from being raised. So the Republicans are trying their hell to basically protect from having to pay people more money. Because ultimately, businesses are going to have to pay their workers more. Ultimately, the good portion of businesses and corporate America are Republican douchebags. So in turn, these executives aren't going to be able to take home $85 million bonuses anymore. They're only going to be able to take home $60 million bonuses. Oh, darn. Again, politics and how it works is very tricky. And what is a priority and what is not a priority is also tricky. But we've shown on more than one occasion, on more than one presidency, that when you go with a Republican, our country is fucking doomed. And when you roll with a Republican, you get nothing but bad news. Again, the last Republican president we had basically bankrupted this country, got us marred into 2 wars. We suffered the worst terrorist attack that our country's ever seen, and we were a country that fell into just unemployment rate skyrocketing, stock market that we had not seen a crash since the 20s, and basically retirement funds wiped out. Do you realize a new report came out from Fidelity Investments and a couple other places that when President Obama took office and we were going through the recession that we went through from George Bush and retirement plans were in the doghouse, that those same people today, they're in retirement investments have, I think it was said, are up 30% from where they were, and people were freaking, meaning they've gone back to where they were before Bush destroyed them, and now today are up almost 30 to 40% under President Obama. So basically, everybody got their retirement money back and then added 30 to 40% on top of that. Those are facts. You can look them up. They're facts. People who had money in the stock market when George Bush left the office and the stock market was down to 5,000 and 6,000, today their investments are through the fucking roof. All those people that cried the blues and said the sky was falling, and all the fucking people for our president were saying, just relax, this president's going to get us back in shape. Right now, all those people that were crying the blues are sitting on their stock pensions, their investments, and they're looking at 30 to 40% higher yield on everything. People, the stock market is the biggest it's ever been. That's fact. This isn't some asshole pornographer or former pornographer spouting off bullshit. These are facts. The stock market today is better than when George Bush left office and destroyed this country. So what does that mean? Again, if you're going to go after this president and say, look at all the bad things that he's done, you got to at least give him credit for the great things. And if you're going to say that somehow a Republican House made the stock market go from 5,000 to 16,000, you're out of your fucking minds. You're out of your fucking minds. Fucking auto industry that was in the toilet. Remember those Tea Party people? This president's a socialist. He's taking over the bit. Taking over what? He saved the car industry, you assholes. Car industry today in America is booming. Booming. Amazing. Amazing you all are. You Republican inbred motherfuckers. Fucking only, I knew Crippled Dan was a little Republican douchebag. So listen to what Crippled Dan says. It's just a Republican Rush Limbaugh talking point. The wage increase will help people at first, but it will eventually equal to the same as before because of the increasing cost to the items we purchase. So the Republican talking point is when you raise minimum wage, everybody will raise prices on goods. Okay, again, that is not, another fucking, it's a Republican douchebag talking point. When minimum wage went from 5 to 7, a bag of Doritos got smaller and the cost almost doubled. Okay, Dan, what are you fucking, goods today are cheaper than they've ever been, you asshole. What are you kidding me? This vitamin water. Have you ever gone to a fucking dollar store, you dumb motherfucker? I could buy a fucking thing of Gatorade this big for 99 cents. Listen to this, you guys. The cost of the bag, the materials for the chips, the artwork on the bag, the transportation of the bags, and everything else that goes into producing a bag of Doritos costs more. The same goes for milk, bread, eggs, Flintstones, vitamins, etc. Everything costs more, so what did the wage increase actually do? They'll be right back in the same place with their money, not buying them more, but just the same as when they were poor. Look at history. Legislation would have to be made forcing companies to not raise prices of products for it to actually work. That's not going to happen. Crippled Dan, you're incredibly wrong. You're incredibly wrong. When prices of goods are raised, then you don't buy them. And people make cheaper goods. Are you out of your fucking mind? Computers, everything is cheap. Computers, you name it. Remember the days of buying $300 pairs of shoes? I can go buy a fucking pair of Nikes now for fucking $30. What are you insane? That is a Republican talking point. What, Dan, you tell me what prices. Tell me what, Dan goes, tell me how it was lying. They do raise prices. Tell me tell me right now, this ibuprofen, $1. A fucking $1 for this ibuprofen. So tell me, Republican. Tell me, Republican. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Republican, just tell me. I have not seen anything. Anything. When you, let me explain something to you, Republican jerk-off. When you give people more money, they spend more money. When you give middle to lower income people more money, they spend more money. Rich assholes hoard their fucking money. What are you, fucking retarded? Trickle fucking down economics doesn't work. Triple up economics work. Why is it that during the Clinton era, why is it that Democrats have created more jobs, fact, than Republicans ever have? Explain to me, Crippled Dan, what pricing is through the roof. I can go to a fucking store and buy a goddamn laptop computer for fucking $225. I could go and buy a fucking iPhone now for $100. Explain to me, Dan. I'm not the one that has to back up my expert. You're the one that blanketly said if you raise minimum wage, then everybody's going to raise their prices on what they have to make their goods for. I beg to differ. You tell me. See this shirt? I go to a store called H&M. You know how much this shirt costs? $8 fucking dollars. $8 fucking dollars. Have you ever gone to fucking Target? What the fuck is so much? I want to know. When you raise minimum wage, you know what you do? You make the fucking rich douchebag Republican executive not take an $80 million bonus. You make them take a $60 million bonus. A fucking car. I could get a fucking car. I could get a car for $1,000 down and $135 a month. I'm still literally. I could go to fucking Walmart, everybody's Republican's wet dream of a store. I could buy a bag of tube socks for $5. For $5 fucking dollars. $5. Jeans. I could buy these jeans. You know where I bought these jeans? These are Guess jeans. I bought them at Marshall's for $25. What is going to raise the prices? So if you give the motherfucker who's what are you gonna raise the price? McDonald's! Fucking McDonald's! I can buy an entire fucking meal at McDonald's for a fucking $1. What? Tell me, Republican douchebag. Tell me. Please. Somebody tell me. Tell me. A $10.10 minimum wage would make a DVD at Walmart cost 1 cent more. Do you understand that? The analysts by Bloomberg, economics for Bloomberg, okay? Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Amazing. Let me read this to you, you fucking dummy. Okay? Let me read this to you. If you can give me facts, I got articles. Remember, Democrats control the Senate. Democrats control the White House. Under Democratic leadership, this country's never been better, motherfuckers. So, I have facts. If you guys can produce me facts, I would be willing to sit here and listen to them. I'm listening. If you can tell me how many jobs under Democrats have been created and how many jobs under Republicans created, if you can show me how Republicans have created more jobs, I'm there for you. Don't happen. Raising the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour would increase the price of a $16 product at Walmart, such as a typical DVD, just a cent, if all extra costs were passed on to the consumers, according to an analysis by economists for Bloomberg News. Ken Jacobs, chair of the Labor Center at University of California, Berkeley, estimates that a minimum wage at the level would add $200 million to Walmart's yearly labor costs, which comes to just 0.8% of what it currently spends. That also represents just 0.06% of the company's billions in yearly sales, Jacobs told the company. So if the company decided to pass the entire cost increase onto its consumers, it would mean an extra penny for a $16 product. The company may also very well decide not to pass the cost in that way. It's likely that some share of that cost will be passed through, but it's not likely to be 100%, Jacobs said. An increased wage would increase its sales as workers would have more money in their pockets to spend on its products, which could mitigate the cost. Bloomberg recently reported that the companies considered supporting a minimum wage increase, given that millions of its customers would now have additional income. What don't you idiots understand? Let me explain this to you one more time, Crippled Dan. If you have somebody that makes $400 a week, you stupid motherfucking Republican, and out of the blue, somebody gives them an extra $100 a week, what do you think they're going to do with that extra $100? What do you think, they're going to fucking bury it under their fucking mattress, you motherfucker? They're going to get an extra $400 a month. You know what they're going to do? They're going to buy a new fucking shirt. They're going to go to the goddamn restaurant that they couldn't go to. They're going to go see fucking American Hustle at a goddamn movie theater instead of waiting for it to come out on fucking Redbox. They're going to go buy their fucking kids a new fucking toy. What do you think middle to low income people do with the extra couple $100 they make? Bury it in their fucking mattress? They know that burying fucking $400 extra in their mattress doesn't do them shit. So what they do is they spend it. Then they go right to the fucking stores that they work for. You think a middle to lower middle class person shops at Neiman Marcus, you stupid motherfuckers? They shop at Walmart. They shop at Target. They eat at Kentucky Fried Chicken. They fucking shop at the dollar stores. They go to Smart and Final. What do you think, a worker at Walmart gets their paycheck and goes, oh, I'm going to Rodeo Drive? No! What the fuck? They go to fucking Chili's, or they go to Applebee's. They go to these places that they fucking work at, you dumb cocksuckers. If you have a family that's making $28,000 a year and you bump their fucking salaries up to $5,000, what do you think they do with the $5,000? Oh, we're millionaires. We're gonna go to fucking Beverly Hills. We're gonna go to Harrah's. No! Instead of going to dinner at Applebee's once a month, they'll go twice a month. What's Applebee's gonna raise the price of a fucking meal from fucking $6 to fucking $10? You people are insane. People are insane. Because remember, we are in America, where the fucking price and cost of goods is constantly being challenged. So the first company that fucking raises their fucking pricing and people get the word out, the company that's their competitors are the first motherfuckers to say, hey, we're keeping our prices the way it is. Fuck them. Fuck them. They're trying to fuck you. What do you don't think Fucking the competitors of the Walmarts and the Targets are fucking TJ Maxx's, Marshalls. You don't think they'd be sitting there going, hey, 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 guess what we heard? Walmart is raising the price on tube socks by $1 across the board. Wait, you don't think other companies are going to go, oh, fuck that? We're going to get all the tube sock business. American, nobody fucking goes to collusion and fucking goes, all right, tube sock people, no, well, we're all going to raise our prices across the board. Yeah, let's fuck America. Doesn't happen. Just like the porn business is a bunch of cutthroat motherfuckers and everybody in the porn business. Man, let me tell you something, the porn business. You know why the business is shit? Because everybody lowers the price. Because when everybody gets together and says, hey guys, we're not going to sell our VHS tapes for less than $12 to the wholesalers. Guess what happens, you stupid motherfuckers? Everybody cuts side deals. And they go, hey, 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 I know we're all doing this, but for you, I'm going to give you for 10. But don't tell nobody. What do you think American companies do? The exact same thing. This is a Republican rich prick excuse to fucking once again keep America down, to keep the middle to lower class down. Okay? Do you realize when you have a corporation that turns a profit, and you have somebody like McDonald's, or you have somebody that one of the corporate giants, and these guys take home an $80 million bonus. Do you understand what it would mean for that company if that executive, out of his $80 million, took $20 million and put it back into the company and gave it to the employees? What do you fucking think that would do? What do you think that would do? Would that hurt the country? Would that hurt the country? Would that hurt the country? Let's keep going. At $10.10 minimum wage would give 16.5 million workers across the country 31 billion more in earnings. Given all that, that penny per 16 an item may not turn out to be necessary, Jacob said. There are also ways the company could increase pay for its employees without needing to raise its prices. A report states that it's $7.6 billion on buying back shares of its own stock. It could use that money to give its workers a $5.83 raise, which would ensure they would all make over $25,000 a year when working full time. That has been one of the key demands made by striking workers over the past year. Businesses like Walmart don't just potentially benefit from higher sales when Americans have more money. They could also see benefits within their own workforce, such as improved efficiency and lower turnover. Realizing that the benefits are likely to outweigh the cost, one mega retailer recently took voluntary action. Gap announced that it would raise its hourly minimum wage to $10 by June of 2015. Gap chairman and CEO Glenn Murphy said of the move, "Our decision is to invest in the frontline employees who will directly support our business and is one that we expect to deliver return many times over." Other companies such as Costco, In-N-Out Burger, and Balaco already pay their entry-level workers more than the federal minimum wage of $7.25. I'm going to take a fucking picture today, you cocksuckers, of the In-N-Out that is right there on Lancashire. That's 2 blocks from this fucking building. An In-N-Out that is in the dirtiest piece of shit part of this fucking city. They every day have lines tracked down Lancashire Boulevard to get a fucking In-N-Out burger. Somebody explain that to me. And those fucking workers start at $10 an hour. Explain that to me, motherfuckers. You can't, can you? You cocksuckers. You motherfuckers. Can't, can you? None of you can. I'm going to take pictures of In-N-Out. And anybody that's on the West Coast knows what I'm talking about. In-N-Out is mobbed every fucking day. And they pay their workers fucking $10, some more. Ralph's. You think is Ralph's bankrupt? Is Ralph's fucking bankrupt? Somebody tell me, is Ralph's bankrupt? Listen to Cripple Dan. And with the Doritos. A bag of Doritos is half. Fucking Dan, fuck the Doritos in a dollar store, you asshole. I'm talking about fucking other shit now. Gee, what a Republican douchebag. When you give people money, they spend more, but when prices are raised, they get as much as they did before. I'm not saying trickle-down economics work. This isn't trickle-down economics at all. When postage rates go up, I raise my costs. When sellers' fees go up, I raise my prices. So does everybody else. All products go down eventually. A DVD player used to cost $500. Now it is $30. Poor examples. Television skyrocketed. How is it poor examples? How is it poor examples? They're going to, listen to this, they're going to spend it, but those who make the products make less, so they slowly raise prices. That's why shit costs as much as it does now. Remember when a pair of Converse All-Stars were 15 bucks, 49 bucks now. That's not cheaper, not even close. The only reason minimum wage would be raised is to help those in the unions. Oh my God, what a Republican douchebag. Listen to this douchebag. The unions then demand raises. Obama's keeping his promise to them, which is cool. He said he'd help them. Not going to knock the guy on that. It really only helps those in unions, though. For instance, you're going to make the same amount, but Jack in the Box won't have the monster taco deals, and McDonald's already raised their dollar menu. The guy at Taco Bell will benefit for a little, but then eventually he goes up, so he goes back to the same spot he was before. Minimum wage was raised like 4 or 5 years ago. Why is a raise needed now? Because the cost of shit went up. That happens. Shit isn't cheaper. If it is, then it has less ounces in it. The big laugh was the bags that said 20%. That's your Republican. I just sat here and gave you example after example. And what are they for unions? Republican douchebag. There you go. Unions. The only way it helps you, unions. Unions. Fucking just what a, I never thought a crippled little motherfucker like that. Like fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unions. Unions. Hey, Crippled Dan, you dumb motherfucker. Unions are at an all-time low in this country, you stupid fuck. The auto plant, what was it, Volkswagen? Or whatever the fuck they were, they just voted not to go union. Unions are at an all-time low. What do you talk benefit unions? Oh, Taco Bell, McDonald's, none of them are union. None of them are union. But that TVs is a bad example. TV, it's not a bad example. What TVs are expensive? 58-inch plasma 3D infused with everything goes out at its fucking high price. That's the way life is. You can never go low to high. That's economics. Everything starts high and then you work your way down. Raising minimum wage will only help unions. Okay, Republican douchebag. Okay. Crippled Dan, explain to me, why is it under Republican rule, Republicans have created less jobs than Democrats? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Like, is it the unions? And Crippled Dan, if you're the example that because postage went up 5 cents, that you're now raising all your customers on postage, is that your rationale? Come on, Crippled Dan, you fucking gimpy motherfucker. Come on. Crippled Dan, have you ever gone to Winco? Crippled Dan, have you ever gone to Winco? They pay $11 per hour, offer health, dental insurance, and invest 20% of the workers' salaries into their pension. and their prices are lower than Walmart. Thank you. Democrats, 23 years, 42 million jobs. Republicans, 28 years, 24 million jobs. Is that union? In the 23 years the Democrats have occupied the White House since John F. Kennedy took office, in January of 1961, non-government jobs have increased nearly 42 million compared with 24 million jobs created during 28 years under the Republican presidents. Fact. 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 Ronald Reagan triples the deficit. President Obama cuts the deficit in half. Fact. Fact. That is a fact. Does anybody want to dispute that? You know how much fucking food stamps cost the American taxpayer? You guys want to know? Who wants to know? Cost to the average taxpayer per year, food stamps, $36. Corporate subsidies, $870. Fact. It's fact. That's facts. Facts. This isn't sitting here talking about, oh, well, when the postage goes up, I raise my prices. Give me fucking facts, jerk-offs. If you give me facts, I'm more than willing to listen. All you Republican assholes. End of story. Democrats, 23 years, 42 million jobs. Republicans, 28 years, 24 million jobs. Ronald Reagan tripled the deficit. President Obama cut it in half. Anybody want to debate that? No, I guess not. Ronald Reagan gets 18 clean debit ceiling increases. President Obama, you know what? He gets called a fucking socialist, a Nazi, Hitler. I'm telling you, you guys can't dispute facts. All you can come up with is bullshit. Well, if you raise the price, raise minimum wage, these people are going to raise their price. Well, how do you know? Well, because that's what happens. Well, what do you mean that's what happens? How is that what happens? Are you guys also going to debate that under George Bush and Republicans the country was safer too? Is that what you're going to do? Or are you going to use the bullshit saying, we never experienced any terror attack after 9/11. Well, what the fuck was 9/11? That wasn't a terrorist attack? Like, what happened with the fucking single worst fucking terror attack in the history of fucking mankind, of the United States? What happened? That was under Republican watch. After the Democrat who got his cock sucked in the White House said, yo, bro, we're here in airplanes. Ragheads flying into the fucking towers. You guys better be careful. Again, does anybody want to dispute any of this stuff? I didn't think so. Why? Because Republicans are retarded. Republicans are bred in the South or in fucking Pennsylvania with Crippled Dan. Oh my God. This is like an anarchist. Dude, this is Crippled Dan. Fuck Republicans and Democrats or any party. They're all fags. They can all be bought. Therefore, they mean nothing. Okay. Unions are at an all-time low. They're still there, though, and they contribute to this campaign massively. When costs for employees go up, when check out what happens to your eBay fees or Amazon fees, they don't go down at all. Everything comes on at a high price. That's why phones are $100 now. Like you said, people don't buy phones in the same manner they buy bread, milk, butter, and eggs. Those went up. That's not a lie. I could buy a fucking bread for $1.30. You're naming a few companies that do the right thing. There isn't a law saying they have to do the right thing, and Walmart and Target cater to more people. Hopefully a company that treats its workers better will beat them, but putting legislation towards wishful thinking isn't a good idea financially. Unbelievable. So, Crippled Dan. So, you know what Crippled Dan is? He must be a fucking Ron Paul supporter. What? So Crippled Dan. So, no legislation. Well, explain to me. Explain. Oh, God, you can't even argue with people. First off, you can't argue with somebody that goes, fuck both parties. They're all fags. Right there, you can't even argue with someone like that because they have no, they have no concept of, they have no concept of fucking debating. They don't. And then when they just use Crippled Dan, you're using eBay and stuff because that's what you do, sitting from your house selling DVDs. And you're debating eggs, milk, butter. What are we in? What are you? That's not what the economy's based on. Somebody buying a gallon of milk. You're thinking like back in the fucking 1920s, you retard. Think about what exists. Think about what the American people are dealing with on an everyday basis. Milk and eggs. Again, milk and eggs and all of these things are for $1.30. I bought a loaf of bread for $1.22. I bought a Kroger loaf of bread for $1.22. So you're going to tell me that the person that makes an extra $100 a week is now going to be hurt because that bread is going to go from $1.22 to $1.28? Again, we're getting into the factors of benefiting 18 million people and hurting 500,000. Once again, if you raise minimum wage and you give somebody at the end of the week $100 extra, and you sit there and tell me, boy, here's what's going to happen. That person's going to pay an extra 5 cents for a fucking loaf of bread. That person who buys that loaf of bread and spends an extra 5 cents a week for his loaf of bread will adjust, and they will go, all right, so I can deal with spending an extra 5 cents on a loaf of bread because I just made it an extra $100. Again, even if everybody raised their pricing, raising their fucking price would still not outweigh the extra money that they would make. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Don't you get that? Don't you get that? Do you people not understand that? Regardless, if they raised the pricing, nobody's going to ever be able to raise the pricing by 30 to 40%. And that's what we're talking about giving people. When you sit there and look at somebody who is making $7 an hour and you boost them up to 10, or you give somebody from 8 to 10 and they're getting a 20 to 30% raise in their wages, what do you think? That the cost of goods is going to go up by 30% on every fucking item? No. Again, that's a bullshit, rich Republican anarchist statement. It's bullshit. What that is somebody who don't like fucking poor people, don't like fucking lower to middle class people, don't like black people. That's all that is. That's racist shit. That is racist shit. And I used to have this conversation with my dad. My dad, in the adult bookstores. And here's the best part. And here's the example, because Cripple Dan, I only know this because I am in this business. So Cripple Dan sells DVDs, and that's what he sells. Do you realize this business, Cripple Dan, buys DVDs for $1? Seriously, Cripple Dan buys products in this business for $1, $2. This business, the goods and the price of goods that people like Cripple Dan are selling are at the lowest they've ever been in the history of the adult industry. Matter of fact, I can buy the adult DVDs for less than 75 cents. And you know what I sell it to the consumer for? Anywhere between 10 and 20 bucks. My dad pays his workers in Rochester, New York, $7, $6. And I remember I told my dad, so why don't you pay him more? Oh, well, what am I going to pay him? Dad, you buy DVDs for $1 to $2. Oh, what do you mean? You're not buying goods for $50 and selling them for $75, and you're only making a 20% markup. Cripple Dan sells his goods and makes anywhere between 2 to 3 to 400% profit. And Cripple Dan, you know don't you fucking lie to me, motherfucker. I know your business, you cocksucker. All you motherfuckers. DVDs are at an all-time low. Rubber dicks, all-time low. You want to know what the rule of thumb of selling anything in this business, like rubber dicks and shit? Here's the general rule of thumb in this business. Rubber dicks in the fucking porn fucking business is simply put at this. You buy it from the distributor at $7, you double it plus half. That's the rule of thumb. That's the rule of thumb. That's the rule of thumb. Listen. I'll vote for the guy that I like regardless of his party. This is Cripple Dan, everybody. I don't sell DVDs anymore or rubber dicks. I quit in January. 2 months ago. I don't do anything. I made enough to do nothing. I'm one of those people you talked about that just go out and I buy a TV. I know what to do with my money. I bought DVDs for 50 cents and hiked up the prices like crazy. Laugh out loud. It is dead, though. It is done and over, so I'll just sit back and enjoy the life. You don't even know what's going to happen if they raise minimum wage. The people who are already poor and lost their jobs aren't going to be happy. It will be harder for them to find jobs. When costs go up, companies don't expand like crazy. What do they say? It's costing more to hire people. Let's increase the workforce. Oh, my God. Are you people insane? So, basically, to have to pay somebody more money, they don't expand the workforce. You know what? These are the most insane. These are such horrible Republican concepts. So the premise is corporations need to make more and more money and get more and more tax credits and subsidies, and then they'll hire more people at lower and lower wages. But if the people want more money, then companies won't hire and won't expand their businesses. Is that the most retarded logic ever? That's almost as retarded as this logic. You ready for this? This is the best. Okay? This is the other one. All right? This is the fucking best one. I watched a woman in New Jersey talk to fat fuck Governor Christie. and she was bitching about the fact, and this is what I love, and I can tell this is the way Cripple Dan talks. Okay, this is exactly the way Cripple Dan talks. Because now Cripple Dan's hitting me again. This is the logic of these Republicans and these right-wingers are just now he's talking about discount stores that beat pricing, but they don't have an advertising budget like these other stores do. Cripple Dan, or possibly they don't have executives that take home $50 and $60 and $70 million bonuses. What do you think of that? What do you think of that, Cripple Dan? Did you ever think about that? That if an executive takes $30 million bonus instead of a $70 million bonus, that money can be used for other places? I know, it's an amazing thing. This same logic that Cripple Dan has is also this logic. I watched a woman who bitched at Governor Chris Christie because during the hurricanes and all that bullshit, Obama and the federal government were telling the insurance companies that they would not cover and fully insure people's second homes. Seriously, they weren't covering unless it was primary homes. And their deductibles and so forth and so on. And you actually had a lady bitching at Governor Christie, who was then saying, this is bullshit, you need to help us, and this is wrong. And Governor Christie sat there and said, I feel your pain, and these are the things that I discussed with the president in the Oval Office. And it's not just him, but it's Congress. And they refuse to cover. And they could have easily put it in the in legislation, but they didn't. And what these people don't understand is these people with these second houses are not these big wigs that have $5 million homes. You know, these are secondary homes that some people that had passed on to generation, and they're just not a bunch of rich fat cat. That is an amazing statement. And here's the statement. Doesn't matter if your house is worth $5 million or $50,000. If you can afford to have two houses, fuck you. How's that? That's like my father's rationale. My father makes more than $250,000 a year, and he doesn't consider himself rich. He considers himself middle class. Is that just the most ludicrous thing? People with money, they look at people like Bill Gates as being rich. And I tell my dad, I used to have arguments with my dad, you're never going to be Bill Gates. Why the fuck are you trying to equate yourself to Bill Gates, you dumb motherfucker? You are rich. You make $335,000 a year, cocksucker. You've got 4 houses, 2 condos in the Caribbean. You are rich. I'm not rich. I'm middle class to upper middle class. What? But Bill Gates is rich. Bill Gates is worth billions. You will never be worth billions. Ever. You are furthest away from Bill Gates as somebody who makes $26,000 a year is away from you. And people don't equate that. They're stupid. So you have a lady in New Jersey arguing with fucking Governor Chris Christie, who's agreeing with her, and they're saying, these people with second homes, they're not these rich people. They're not living in $5 million houses. Well, wait a minute. the aspect of a lady who has a second home in New Jersey, and the second home is worth $140,000. Her owning a $5 million house is never going to happen. So she has two homes that are in the six figures. One's $100,000, another one's $140,000. Those two homes that she possesses, and the equation of her ever getting a $5 million home is about as close as somebody living in the projects in a $600 a month rental apartment, dreaming that they're going to own a $150,000 house. Not one, but two. Do you guys see that? If you have enough money to have one house, you're already up on more than half the fucking population. And now if you have enough money to have two homes, and you're bitching because you're not getting enough federal fucking help from your insurance companies, and they're making you pay an extra deductible, what are you, out of your fucking minds? Are you people out of your fucking minds? It's fucking amazing. Again, these things you have to put in comparison as to what is relative to you. You can't sit there and go, well, I make $500,000 a year. I'm not rich. Bill Gates is rich. Asshole, you're never going to be Bill Gates. You need to equate yourself to what the average American is. And the average American makes $26,000. So to somebody making $26,000 to $19,000, you are Bill Gates. Now, for you, looking at Bill Gates and fucking, the Sultan of Brunei and Donald Trump, who are worth $4 billion, you say, well, that's rich. Well, you're never going to be worth $4 billion. Just like the person making $19,000 a year is never going to be worth $500,000. So, when you sit there and say, well, I should be getting tax credits, that's like people that make $250,000 and they get Social Security. What are you, fucking insane? People that make $500,000 and they're collecting money from the government and they're complaining about Obama. That's not love. People that are making $500,000 paycheck and yet they collect Social Security. They go, well, I paid into the system. Okay, so you're a socialist. No, what do you mean? Well, you're a socialist. You take money from 20-year-old kids that work at the 99-cent store, and you don't need it. But you get Medicare, don't you? That's fucking welfare. That's socialism. It's all relative, man. It's all relative. You guys gotta fucking get out of these fucking weirdo bubbles. Somebody that's making hundreds and hundreds of thousands a year cannot look at rich people that make billions and go, that's rich. I'm middle class. You're not middle class, asshole. Do you understand that 1% of America makes $250,000 a year and up? 1%. Everybody else, which is 99%, makes less. So, according to the national statistics, if you make more than $250,000 a year, you are considered a 1%er. Now, if you talk to somebody that's making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, you know what they'll say? I'm not a 1%er. What, are you kidding me? No, you are, idiot. You are, you fucking moron. When you're making $5,000 a week and the average American makes $500 a week, look at it that way, you stupid fucks. Somebody that makes Listen to me. Listen to me. Somebody that makes, you guys listen, somebody that makes between 5,000 and 8,000 a week, that is hard to, the average person, they're lobbying to try to make, think about this, the average people make less than they make less than $10 an hour. A 40-hour work week is $400 a week. And you legitimately have people that make between $5,000 and $10,000 a week, and they say they're not rich. They point to Bill Gates and say, that's rich. Now put that in the spectrum. 400 a week, 10,000 a week. To that person making 400 a week, that person that's making 10,000 a week is Bill Gates. Plain and simple. That person making 400 a week will never get to 10,000 a week. No different than that person who's making 10,000 a week is never going to get to Bill Gates and being worth 5 to 10 billion a year. Or Warren Buffett. Ain't gonna happen. But yet, the asshole that makes 10,000 a week will actually have the balls to put himself in the same category as somebody that's making 400 a week. And they scoff at the Warren Buffett that's making 10 billion a year. Fucking amazing. Amazing. And they say, that's rich. I'm not worth that. I'm a little person. I only make a couple $100,000 a year. Once I pay for my kid. And that's the other thing I love. I got friends that were like that. And they go, dude, once I pay for my cars, once I pay for my kids' college education, once I do my 401k, once I pay for my health insurance, I don't really have that much money left. Really? So once you pay for your kids to go to Pepperdine University, once you pay for your fucking house in Beverly Hills, once you pay for your Maseratis and your Ferrari, once you pay for all of those things, you look at me and go, I only got like 50,000 left over at the end of the year. See, it's all relative. It's all zeros, brother. Say, really? So you compare yourself to the same person that puts their kid through a state college, who fucking has to make a car payment on a fucking Hyundai. Are you fucking serious? Yeah, man, it's all zeros. Okay, I totally get you, jerk off. It's all zeros. That's like saying, that's like saying, fucking a fat, ugly bitch is the same as fucking, that's like saying fucking Carla Lane and fucking Katie Summers is the same thing. So it's just a pussy. That's the same logic. That's like saying fucking a retarded crippled girl with one eye is the same as fucking Katie Summers. And you're like, it's a pussy. It's the same thing, it's a pussy. What are you, fucking nuts? It's a pussy. It's a pussy. It's a pussy. It's a pussy. Oh, fuck. You guys are killing me today. Hey, I picked my boogery nose. Alright. It's the ROB Black Show. I got my fucking, you guys got my voice all fucking nuts. Fuck, I'm gonna stab somebody. I'm stabbing Crippled Dan. I'm stabbing fucking my girlfriend. I'm stabbing Patrick. Fucking little shithead Pat. I am. I'm a Stat Patrick. I don't know why. He annoys me right now. But I love Pat. And I love Crippled Dan. They got me fired up today. You got me fired up. You fuckers got me all fired up. And now I got to piss and my voice shot. Probably got cancer in my larynx. I'm telling you, I think I got cancer of the larynx. I don't even know what the larynx is, but something in my throat, and I'm picking my nose. I got a wicked, crusty snot up there. It's fucking horrible. All right, listen, let me take a break. I gotta piss. I gotta piss. My neck hurts from fucking getting me fired up. I didn't even have any commercial breaks. It's gonna be a nightmare to have to cut this up. Okay? Jesus, I gotta go from Ted Nugent to Republicans. Wait a minute. It's not a big booger, it's a little booger. It's just, it's on my finger, it's gross. I put a booger on Katie Summers the other night, and she got really upset at me. I thought she was going to break up with me. Seriously, I thought she was like, she just gave me this look. She was like this. She goes, oh. And she just got up and went into the kitchen and like washed off her hand. And I'm like, what? She's like, you're like farting and putting a booger on me. I'm like, is our love gone now? Is that what it is? Our love is gone? That I'm no more love for me because I put a booger on you? That was supposed to be an act of love. I had to see if my love and that I give you was strong and strong enough for you to withstand a snot on you. And I don't know if it was, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if putting a booger on her arm was right for the relationship. I think ever since that booger incident, the love has weaned. I'm sweating. The love, it's hot up here, and I got a long sleeve shirt on. That love has weaned for me because of the booger incident. We're just going to call it the booger incident. Seriously, we're going to call it the booger incident. And that's what it amounted to, the booger incident. And by putting the booger on her, it got her really upset. Got her completely just nuts. She was offended. And farting was offended. And normally the farting didn't offend her, but for some reason this day when I put the booger on her and the fart on her, I seen a shift in her eyes. I seen a shift in the love that was there for me. And I think our relationship might have gotten a little strained. Damn, this booger was just stuck on me. Did you ever have a booger stuck on your finger and you go to shake someone's hand and you realize you just shook their hand with a booger on it and you're thinking to yourself, Jesus, I know they had to feel that booger on their fucking, like they had to think it was either a booger or a wart or something, a callus, and you shake their hand and you get done and you look and you're like, oh man, there's that booger I had. And you just kind of twist your thumb and you just get the booger off. And you're wondering if they're going, that's a booger that was just on my hand. He just touched me with a booger. He literally just grabbed my hand, shook it with a booger. He just gave me a booger handshake. That was disgusting. And then, I've had it happen to me. I've shook somebody's hand with a booger. And I've actually sat there and said, was it a booger? And I went back later, specifically to shake their hand again as if I'm leaving. And I'm like, hey, man, it was good to meet you. Even though I wasn't leaving, I would just facilitate or matriculate back to another part of the party. And then if you saw me again, I'd be like, oh, I was getting ready to leave and I got tied up over here. So that's why I gave you a premature shake. But I've gone back to shake, and then I've shook it, and I felt nothing. And I went, it was a booger. Shook my hand with a booger. That was a booger-induced handshake, that nasty motherfucker. What a nasty, dirty motherfucker. Nasty. So I know what it's like, and I just flicked the booger off me. So I don't have the booger on me anymore. No booger on me. It was a big one, though. Man. Now I'm going to this one. Did you ever do that? See how I just did it? I went with the pinky, and then I twisted the arm. That's because when you go in, and the booger is this tucked away in this crevice, you can't really dig at it. You got to go pinky, rotate. It's like a karate move. It's like a booger karate move. And you go in, rotate, and then dig. And you get that nail, and you fucking scrape the snot. And then you got to be careful because the booger's under your nail. And you got to make sure you clean that nail, because if you're somebody like me who bites their fingernails sometimes, you wind up biting into your booger at a later time, and you're biting your fingernail, and you're like, wow, my fingernail feels puttyish, and you're like, I just bit a booger, and that's no good. So those are my tips of booger picking, and we're going to take a break and come back, and we'll finish the show up. It's 2:47 p.m. And let's go out of here with a little ain't my bitch. You understand that, motherfucker? You ain't my bitch. You're somebody else's bitch. Alright guys, we're back. Damn. Oh, fuck, cocksuckers got me going today, man. Woo! Seriously, you guys got me working overtime. Why do I hear? Man, I hear kids, I hear screaming, and not kids here, but I told you guys before that next door at the, strip club is, God, in the, what's it called? The fucking place next door to us, these fucks. The flop house next to us is the fuck it. Is a flop house. And so they have the people living upstairs. And I guess two of the people have kids, I think. I don't know, but I hear kids out there. Jesus Christ, it's a big nightmare. It's hot as fuck out today, guys. I'm telling you, it's hot. And we're almost done with the show. It's 2:55 p.m. I'm not really going to get into any other stuff. We'll hold everything over for tonight on the 10 o'clock show. And we're going to do a whole nother routine. And when I say routine, a whole nother topics. We'll hit some porn news. We'll hit, I mean, there really isn't anything happening in the fucking porn world. There really isn't. There literally is nothing happening in the porn world. It's 2:56. If I fucking waste my fucking energy right now and go to the fucking porn world, I'm gonna be talking about stupid shit, and which is porn. And I don't fucking feel like talking about stupid porn right now, because there's really nothing going on. I mean, when I look and you see all of the news, I mean, there's nothing. There's literally no news. You go to AVN and they got more AVN live profiles, Sadie Holmes. It's like the profiles of the girls are in the white room like they're prisoners. And James Bartolet is talking to them. Seriously, that's the AVN live profile, Sadie Holmes. She's ugly as fuck. And she's in a white room, sitting in a chair, talking to James Bartolet. It's horrible. The production quality is atrocious. And that, I mean, literally, there's nothing going on. And another one is James Bartolet talking to Alexander DeVoe. Again, who gives a shit? He's not even with Jules Jordan. The guy's not even with a real company. I mean, it's like, again, who gives a shit? It's just horrible. I can't. It's like I can't even want to do the music to go, what's going on in porn? Mike South. If you go to Mike South's site, this hillbilly douchebag, all he's talking about is Scott Sparks again. This fucking guy, Scott Sparks, who again, man, we could talk about this shit tonight, and we could do a porn. We could fucking go over like porn stuff, but it's like literally the people that they're talking about are just it's just oh man, it's just the people. I've never even heard of fucking Scott Sparks. I've never heard of these people. They're bottom feeders, man. And Mike South gives them all a platform to talk, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, none of these people are anything. Seriously, none of these people are anything in this business. It's kind of like when somebody yesterday was hitting me up and giving me the news that this guy, Rick Savage, was telling them. And this guy, Rick Savage, I don't know if any of you know, he was like an old-time porn guy. And this guy was a fucking, just a bottom feeder when he was in the business. And it's and this guy's telling me how this Rick Savage is telling him about this person and that, and I'm like, what is he telling? The guy was a bottom feeder in the business back then. You know, it's like, really, man. It's like you people that associate with Mike South are just bottom feeders. You know, you never hear any of the, as much as people hate Axel Braun, and I bust Axel's balls all the time. The guy's not a bottom feeder. As much as I bust fucking Brad Armstrong's balls, the guy's not a bottom feeder. You know, as much as I bust, Jesus, who else do I mercifully bust balls about? Even Staliano and them. They're not bottom feeders, man. It's like you never hear any of these people ever being involved with Mike South or any of these people that he associates with on his loser site or his little anonymous posters who go, I know this guy. None of these people do. I mean, they're all they're bottom feeders. It's fucking amazing, man. Literally, have you ever seen anybody on Mike South's site, his anonymous bullshit inside people posters, or have you ever seen Mike South himself? Have you ever heard any of them talk about anybody that's prominent in the business or their interactions. The only person Mike South would ever talk about would be Adela from Finance Marketing. Adela, who, if you take away the fact that, I don't know, she started her career working for Mark and Matt Zane at Zane Entertainment. And doing, working with them, throwing baloney on girls. I mean, literally. Other than that, who has a name, who the fuck associates with Mike South? When you hear Mike South will post a picture of him with Jesse Jane from like 10 years ago and go, yeah, that was Jesse Jane. Who did you hang out with? You're a fucking nobody. I sit here and give everybody stories from me with the Hirsch and Fishbein and Collins and all. When have you heard Mike South talk about anybody or his bottom feeders on his fucking on his website? They talk about a guy named Thomas Scott Sparks. And then you have people on his message board go, yeah, I know him. He's an asshole. It's like, and the people that are talking about him are fucking nobodies also. You know, I get the guy that hits me up, Rick Savage. Rick Savage was a fucking jerk off when he was acting in the business. And then he couldn't get his fucking dick hard anymore, which he could barely get it hard back then, and started doing bondage movies. And he was shitty at that. Guy's a fucking nobody. He was a fucking mope back then. It's like these people that know these old-time porn guys are fucking loser porn guys back then. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like, give me somebody that's got any credentials. Give me somebody that's worth a lick of spit. Nothing. Nothing. So it's like, wow, Mike South dedicates a whole post to, again, bitching about Thomas Scott Sparks. Because some anonymous dumb cunt, and that's what I will call her, an anonymous dumb cunt, fucking tweeted and said he helped me get work, and when I wouldn't let him control me, he did, as you said, started setting the threats, so on and so on. He's been impersonating me to recruit other girls also, to intimidate girls that refuse to work with him via email, Twitter, and Facebook. I would just like to know from you, does he actually live in Irving, Texas? So I can put an end to this nightmare he's putting me through. What fucking pathetic girl who I never met. Again, you never, first off, a girl who posts anonymously is bullshit. But secondly, I've never heard of a prominent girl being harassed by anybody and going through these things. How? Seriously, what have you ever heard of anybody, any girl that ever has a name being harassed and being tormented? Any girl that would go with this guy and have to get work is a fucking loser girl. They're these bottom feeder hillbilly douchebags that go do Southern Bukkake that Mike South is like, you like my disgusting herpes-ridden dick? You like that? Look, 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 look. You like my warts? Look, 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 look. What are you, fucking insane? Are you fucking insane? Ooh. But Mike South doesn't fucking associate with anybody of stature in the business. I'm going to hang out with Vicky Vec. Some old nasty fucking MILF who's got a fucking website that fucks over everybody? What, that's your claim to fame? And an old picture of Jesse Jane and Caden Cross, who nobody gives a fuck about. This is it. And you have talent that are like, I was with Thomas Sparks. I was with Scott Sparks. and he got me work. But then when I wouldn't let him control me, he became abusive. What loser bitch would fucking go to this guy in the front? Like, who would do this? With all of the social media and all of the internet access and everything that is at everybody's disposal now, how the fuck would you ever call Thomas Scott Sparks as your go-to porn guy and not call 100 of other bottom feeders or medium bottom feeders in the business that actually have real websites? I mean, it's amazing. So regardless if this girl is fake or it's one of Mike Styles' fucking inbred losers, this girl deserves whatever she gets. Find me 2 to 3 girls that associate with Mike South that are anything important. Even the girls that post on Mike South's site are bottom feeder girls. Even girls that are like, hey Mike, I'm so-and-so. You're really cool. They're bottom feeder girls. They're not even fucking relevant in this business. But if you think about it, man, any of these girls that are like, Mike, I'm a porn star. You're great. Here's my 2 cents. They're fucking bottom feeder girls. They're fucking losers. You gotta look at the people that post on this guy's site. They're fucking bottom feeders. They're fucking nobodies. The girls, if they post on there, are fucking losers. And the other people that post as fake names. Because if they use their real names, people will go, they're losers. They're fucking losers debating policy in the business. These people wouldn't be able to be allowed to step foot on a real production. Fucking losers. Fucking does a story, Thomas Scott Spark. I wouldn't have known this guy if he fucking raped me in an alley. Nor would anybody in the functioning adult industry in the Valley. If this guy walked into Wicked, nobody would know who he was. This guy walked into Elegant Angel, nobody would know who he was. This guy walked into Hustler, nobody would know who he was. But Mike South knows him because Mike South knows people that work with the guy. Who the fuck works with that guy? Any real adult film star that would get hit up by this guy, it instantly knows enough people that go, hey, have you ever heard of this person? And their friends go, no, loser. And the girl goes, fuck off. How do you get harassed from a fucking guy on a fucking Twitter where you're like, oh my God, I have to end this torture? What torture? It's a Twitter. It's an email, you dumb cunt. You're a fucking scab. You actually went to this. Who the fuck does? You know how many times, and I've been now in Katie Summers for over a year. You know how many fucking times I will fucking, she'll show me emails from guys that are like, hey, hi, I have my own company called Subvision Films. Or, hey, hi, I'm the Quentin Tarantino of porn. You're really hot. I'm casting for a big budget movie. Hey, Kaylee, you gotta read this. And I'll look at it and I'll go, I've never ever heard of this loser. Who is this? Or I'll go, oh, this guy would send me fan mail and say, I want to make movies for you. I mean, like, most girls in this business who are relevant, even this much, know somebody that they go, hey, Alexis Texas, have you ever heard of this guy? And Alexis Texas goes, absolutely not, loser. I mean, who the fuck, any girl that gets straddled up with people like Scott Sparks and Mike South are bottom-feeding losers. And whatever happens to you, God bless. Literally. God bless. If you are anything of anything in this business, like I've always said, as much as Spiegler and Derek Hay are fucking douchebags, they're like the agent pimps of the business. I mean, if your girl wants to get into business and you want to have a pimp, that's where you go. If you're going to fucking Scott Sparks or you're calling Mike South to help get you work, you're a fucking retard cunt. Mike South has no juice in the business. Who's he gonna call? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? These people are a joke. You're gonna have somebody posting anonymously on his board. Hey, that girl's really cute. Hey, stay away from Scott Sparks. Fuck. It's just a fucking. And Mike South writes about this guy being a scam artist. Mike South, if you were gonna fucking write about every guy in the business who's a fucking got either a criminal record or a scam artist, you'd have a blog 8 miles long, you idiot. Jesus Christ. One of those blogging boys over at one of Mike South's little bitches that hang out with those two losers. The one loser fucking douchebag from Texas. That guy will fucking hit up Katie Summers on her Twitter and harass her. Rob Black's a scumbag. You're a fucking loser. What the fuck? Mike South, I can give you a list of little buddies that you have that harass girls. Left and right, you fucking queer. Fuck, man. So, guys, it's cool. I am done. You guys, that's porn. Fucking bunch of losers in this fucking business. We'll deal with more of this crap tonight. I'm done. I'm out. It's the Rob Black Show. We're going to see you guys tonight. We got all sorts of stuff. Go to see Katie Summers right now. She's hot. She's sexy. She'll get you in the mood. You'll love looking at her fucking her cunt. You can watch her do things to it, and she she literally fucking she'll beat that thing like it's a she'll beat that thing like it's Rodney King, and she's got the black baton, and she's the fucking white police officers of LA fucking PD beating the fuck out of that. And she'll beat her pussy like it's fucking Rodney King, man. Alright? She beats her pussy like it's Reginald Denny getting in the truck, pulled out by his hair, getting smashed in the head with a fucking brick. She beats that pussy like Floyd Mayweather Jr. beats motherfuckers on a regular basis. She beats that pussy like Ronda Rousey, a UFC, will beat that little bitch fucking tomorrow night. Katie Summers beats her fucking pussy better than Muhammad Ali fucking beat up fucking motherfucking George Foreman and fucking Zaire at the Rumble in the Jungle. Katie Summers will beat her pussy fucking like I beat a Republican's ass, man. Alright, that's Katie Summers. So go to streammate.com right now and watch Katie Summers beat her pussy. God damn it. And we'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. It's the Rob Black Show, and as always, what is it? Yeah. Tonight, a lot of stuff. Gotta admit, I look handsome today, don't I, guys? Huh? But it's closing time. This delicious body is gone. I'm out of here. It's the Rob Black Show. Go see Katie Summers.
closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I do look good today.